Hello, hello. Okay, basically today I'll be running one of my educational seminar. A lot of people have been asking me, will price continue to move up or come down, because price have moved quite a bit this year. So let's not wait and get started. So basically, a lot of client been asking me, will price continue to move up or come down? So actually, how much have price moved up? So let's just take some examples and case study to take a look. Of course, before we start, it's the usual disclaimer. All these are based on my own opinion and research. You still have to practice your own due diligence when you buy something. All right? Okay. Basically, I will prefer using government data because this is actually from SingStat. Sometimes you use SRX, you use 99.co, or you use square foot, right? They will give you plus minus a bit of difference because of the data that they actually acquire. So usually, to be fair, I will use government data. So basically, if you look from 2019 third quarter to today, actually private property price go up 7%. This is average. Means that there are some that go up more, those that are stagnant, that they don't grow. Actually, this is actually just an average. Some properties actually grow more than 7%. For example, some landed actually move up more than 10%. How about HDB? Since you are here, let's just take a guess. Do you think HDB did go up or go down? Actually, HDB went up even more. Let's take a look at HDB. Today, HDB is 11.8% increment. This is actually hitting more than the 2013 HDB peak. Let me show you. So if we go into the market analysis, wait, new people. Okay. So basically, look at the market analysis. We just take a look at the past 60 quarters. You take a look. Today, usually HDB was at a decline, but today it's actually higher than the previous peak already. What's the reason why? So a lot of you ask me now. Actually, one of the main reason is because of the delay in BTO. So when the BTO is being delayed, a lot of people have more demand to the resale because the waiting time is 5 to 6 years. They go for resale, they still have some grant. That's why it brings the demand up and the supply down. So basically, we all know how do we actually read this chart and how actually HDB prices used to be. Let's just take a screenshot of this. Basically, you take a look that most of the time we all know. Let's take this blue line. This is usually BTO. This is BTO. This is resale, which is why you have an average of this. Because most of the time we know BTO don't lose money. So if BTO don't lose money, by right they should be higher. But why are they down lower? Because of the poor resale price. But today, why is it upward? Because BTO is still, or I can't say it's BTO. MOP HDB, they are here. And your resale is also here. That's why your price go up for HDB line. So price have moved so much. So what's next? A lot of people ask me. So what's next? Will price come down? So in order to analyze will price come down, we need to look at a few factors. Firstly, we look at one of the most recent land in Ang Mo Kio. Today, Ang Mo Kio actually bought this land at 1118 per square feet. You add the construction cost, marketing cost, and whatsoever necessary cost. Today, you will see that their break even is almost 1,009 PSF. Let me share with you. The break even is 1,822 ma. So if they sell at 10% profit, is 2,004 PSF. So if you compare to 8 years ago, there's a project called Panorama. This property also, some of the owners make quite a bit of money. The estimated break even at that point in time is only 1,302. So in the span of 8 years, it go up by 520. And how much is 520? So let's do a bit of calculation. So I do 520 divided by 520 divided by, it's almost 40%. So 40% increase in 8 years, I mean that every year you need to pay 5 more %. Does your pay increase so much? So let's take a look. So from SingStats, I also derive another or the median income to determine how much have our salary increased. I do not want to use 2020. The reason why is because I feel that this is an understatement of what the actual salary of we are getting. The reason why is because a lot of people suffer a temporary pay cut last year, which is why you can see a lower amount here. But I believe in 2021, you will see much higher. Because of course, we all say that people start to lose job and stuff. But if we look around, out of your 10 friends or 100 friends, maybe only 1 or 2 will do suffer or none at all. So I think that to be fair, I will use this 2019 amount to see the increment. So from 2014 to 2019, there is an increment of only 13.6%. So this means that if you actually put your money into property, just by being in that area, you are already 40% better off compared to 13.6. So you all have any question, you all can type in the chat later, I will answer. All right. So basically, how do we actually determine what people can buy? Because developer also need to price their property correctly. So with some calculation, we actually can derive some numbers. So you look at 2014 regulation, the TDSR is of course 60%. The loan to value in the past, we can borrow 80%. Today is 75%. So with 80% LTV, we look at a median income at a point in time is how much? 8,292. So with 8,292 2014, what can we buy? 8,292, let's just say that this is a combined income. 8,292, they are both age 35. They just sold off their HDB. I have some cash proceed to buy their condo. Their maximum loan is 1.107. So if 1.107, which this is your 80%, so how much is 100%? So we can use our calculator. So 1107908, 1107908 divide by 0.8. So you get this amount, 1.384885. And most people, when they upgrade, they tend to go for a 3-bedroom. Of course, some of them, they couldn't stretch, they will go for 2-bedroom. But most people, they will minimally prefer a 3-bedroom. So we take a look at this today, at how developer price this. See, when our max leverage is 1.384885, developer are actually selling this kind of price because they must make sure that people can afford. These are all how many bedroom? Usually, if you look at the size, this is a 3-bedroom. All right, and all these are in 2014. So affordability is very important to determine whether the price go up or go down. So let's take a look at what if today Panorama at 1,302 square feet, max leverage as we calculate is 1.384885. As we know, developer break even is 1,302. What will be the estimated size? We do our max again. 1,384,885 divided by 1302. So you realize that the estimated average size will be about 1063, all right, for a median income family, which is why developer will also put the unit area like this. Why is it smaller? Because usually developer want to make some profit. So if they make about 10% profit, you 1063, you minus off 10% in size is almost 1000 square feet, which is why developer actually sell it at this kind of size. So if using this case study, let's determine what will happen in the future. So of course, with 2021 regulation, actually at 75% LTV is to the developer favor also, because now you can borrow lesser, mean that you actually have people that really going to buy, they actually will be able to afford and not like be over leveraged, causing the market to be a bit more risky. So with the monthly income in 2019, we know that it's 9425. So if we use this 1.259341, because with this TDSR, this is the maximum you can borrow. So our max leverage, if you do the max divide by 0.75, you will get this amount. So if with this amount, how can we determine the estimated size? So with a break even of 1822, we times 10%. So we do it at 1822 times 1822 times 1.1. So developer break even is about 2000. But just now we calculated that the 1679121 divided by 2000 PSF. So mean that in the future, your 3-bedroom is going to be about 839. There are some projects at the moment in Singapore, they are about this kind of plus minus this kind of size. One of the project is Affinity. So for current market, you actually can, with this kind of budget, 1.679 million, you can actually go for a 3-bedroom premium very comfortably. But today, if you choose to wait for the next project, you're going to buy about 800, maybe 850 square feet, plus minus. What will this mean? This means that you're going to only buy a 3-bedroom compact. This is happening and this is real, because if developer going to buy at this kind of land cost, we will only be able to buy smaller. So this is how I derive that affordability. What can we do? Because developer need to make sure they price the size sensitively so that they can sell. Because if today, let's look at some project, when you look at the price elevation chart, you realize that most of the project, those that are left unsold are usually the much bigger one. Some projects are like example, like One Per Bank, Avenue South. You can see that there are 4 bedrooms, usually closer to TOP, they will start to move. Okay, so we take another example. Today, it is something that happened on 22nd July, which is about a month ago. The break even is 1933 PSF. This is pretty high, because today, if we look at some of the break even, for example, just now Avenue South I mentioned, Avenue South break even is lower than this, and this is Lentor. Whenever we mention about Lentor, do you agree that this is Ulu? If you all agree it's Ulu, you all type Ulu lah. Can? You all can type Ulu. Then I see very Ulu, right? Agree, right, Ben? Yeah. So if somewhere so Ulu, developers are willing to pay for this. Why? Okay, of course, this is the integrated, but actually I am also a strong believer in this project. Why? You can see that today, why did Ulu? So much forested area. You're buying in the forest. But of course, today you look at the land bid, Coco Land is willing to pay 1204 PSF. And not only if let's say only one developer bid 1,200, the rest all bid below 1,000, of course we know that, wow, this developer too bullish and this is actually a wrong buy. But most of them, you can see, they bid above 1,000. And I am a believer in saturation in a location. So when this place, you can see that there is still a lot of potential coming up of, if you look at the master plan, let's look at the master plan. You can see orange. Orange, what does it mean? Orange mean is residential. In the future, there's going to be a lot more residential to benchmark your current entry. I think that this is one of the projects that will be safe. Because today we don't want to be the last mover into a location, and there will be a lot of saturation. Like if you take a look at here, all these are orange. So this will be one of the future township in Singapore, the new township now. Like example, like to me, there is three more township. One of them is here. Second one is in Bayshore. If you look at the master plan, Bayshore is going to have a lot of more residential coming up. Another one is Tengah. All right, these are the next few Pongo lah, because government need to always plan ahead to where are they going to house the new young couples, where after Pongo on Sengkang is already pretty saturated. So another part that we must also look at, right, is amount of supply coming into the market. So basically, if you look at this, you realize that en bloc usually happen every 10 years. And this, because to increase the supply into the market, there's only two ways. One is government land sale, another one is developer buy from the open market, which is en bloc. So in between, maybe there's a bit of en bloc, which is why we say that the cycle usually every 10 months. So maybe this portion will have a bit of en bloc, like here. But we cannot assume whether will there be lah. But if you look at the supply that is coming in, because usually when they en bloc here, then you will see it launch in maybe 2022, 2023, but the en bloc here is pretty limited. Why do we see a lot of supply in 2019 and 2020? A lot of new launches at the point in time. Every other month, you will see a new launch because of all this supply. We take a look at the GLS. Correct, you're right. Of course, MRT open, which is why government always will plan the infrastructure first. They must make sure the infrastructure is ready before they bring in the population. So that's why once the infrastructure is ready, the next thing they need to do what? Amenities. Amenities will be like your shopping mall and stuff, which is why this lentor is integrated. So that's why I'm a strong believer that this will be the next township. If of course the project launch also determine how much, also depend on how much they're going to launch, I will think that this is one of the better option in the future market. So if you look at the government land sale, it is not increasing, it's not going up. So mean that we will be facing a lesser supply of new properties in Singapore. We take a look. How do we actually determine whether price will come up down? One of the things is supply. Basically, why did 2013 to 2016? One of the reason is TDSR. Right, TDSR that actually bring the prices down because they limit how much a person can borrow. But another one is the high supply in the market. Because if you look at this, the supply that is coming to the market is quite a lot, 100 over 1,000. So usually of course, a lot of people always say when supply decrease, demand will increase. But sometimes we must always be more conservative. Sometimes demand may stay flat. So if demand stays same, but supply increase, what will happen? Your price will drop. Sorry, I need to. But if what happened here, you see, supply increase, price drop. So what happening today? Let's take a look. Today, if we look at the projects in Singapore, you realize that there's a, well, it's actually a lot, 6,500 units sold in first half of 2021. In 3 years, all this will be gone. But the point here is this, the supply is coming down. So if demand stay flat, price or supply is down, this means what? Price increase, which tally to what? Tally to here. And let it load. Okay, because supply is coming down. So how will price come down? The only way that price will come down, right, is when government start to increase their GLS or developer go towards en bloc to increase the supply. Then you will see that price have a potential to come down. But today, I don't think price will come down because developers are already so bullish with their land bid. This means that this may be the new bottom. Okay, one more part that I would like to touch on is the EC land bid. Actually, you look at this is the last period. This period, 2016. These are the last is the last two condo that actually get their EC at a pretty low price. Which two EC is this? Okay, one is in River Cove. The other one is 100 Palm. And 100 Palm is the one that actually start to move the market because they are the one that, well, people queue for it. First day, 100% sold. So the difference is a lot. In 2 years' time, the next land bid is 500 plus. So there is a big jump. So we take a look. 100 Palm at that point in time in 2016. Okay, 2016. You see that the land bid cost is all around here. A developer all accept that actually ECs, this is the price to bid. But in 2 years' time, 2018, developer bid for a Sumang Walk. If you ask me whether 100 Palm at Hougang compared to Sumang Walk, which is Punggol, which is the better location, definitely Hougang is much nearer to town. It should be of a higher valuation. But today, Sumang Walk, people are bidding this. And if one developer bid 583, the rest all bid the old price, 300 plus or 350, that kind of thing, right? Of course, we make sense that, hey, this is overpriced. But today, even developers have agreed that, right, at 2018, this is the price that this is actually the new low for EC. And this is the acceptable price in the future already. So this is one factor to me that in the future, this will be the new benchmark at the moment in 2018. And it attracted 17 bid. This project is called Piermont Grand. And if people are unable to accept this kind of price, we will know from the performance of the project. But let's take a look at Piermont Grand today. Okay, of course, I try to do, I didn't prepare this, but let's just do a live one. Take a look at Piermont Grand today. Okay, sorry. Piermont. Okay, we take a look at Piermont Grand summary. Today, Piermont Grand is 97.8% sold, meaning that if developer, they were so bullish and the price is too high, nobody will buy. But left with 2.2%. What does this mean? This means that Singaporeans have already accepted that this is the new normal. Okay, next. This is actually in Tampines. This is even more scary to me because today you look at this. Developer already accept in 2021 that this is the new normal. Okay, I zoom in for you guys. This is the new normal. 600 plus So will people buy or not? Of course, today this is EC. So when it comes to EC, it's considered like a subsidized condo. So government must also support the developer because they must make sure that people are able to afford the EC mah. If not, nobody buy. They will also reduce the confidence of the country as well. Okay, we look at the EC price tag. 2019, this is Park Central compared to this. You realize that there is a 13% increment. It is quite a lot now because in 2 years' time, that means you earn $10,000. Suddenly, your 2 years' time, your salary is almost 11,000 plus already. But this is not normal because most of the time our increment is like 2-3% just to cover inflation. Okay, and how scary is this price? And why were if EC going to reduce price? Is today condo undervalued? I share with you. Treasures at Tampines is a condo. Today there is still some units for sale. You all can go and consider. But you look at this. What my point is not to ask you to go and buy. My point is to tell you that the estimated break even is almost similar. If EC can be this kind of price, how much will your condo be worth? This is the new EC. So my point is that there are some opportunities in the market that you all can consider, because if EC they benchmark this kind of price, on future land bid or the future new launch will not be like the current pricing now. So you all must take some action if you are looking to invest, because if you are intending to buy new, the new in the future, like I said Lentor you pay 2,000 Ang Mo Kio you also pay 2,000. So we look at the history of EC. So in the past, I like to look at the history of EC to determine government direction in the future. Okay, before I touch on this, let me take a drink first. If there's any question, you can type in and I will answer. So you look at 2011, in the past, right, it's only $10,000. So government know that land started to be more expensive, everything started more expensive, they no choice, they have to increase to 12,000. Because if today you imagine that if the EC regulation is to 10,000, I just show you from a calculator, okay? Then you all will understand. Take a look. Okay, we look at TDSR. If this person is $10,000, which is actually some couples combined income $10,000, their age, let's say 35. You look at their EC, they can only borrow 668. If 668 mean that they only can buy about 1 million. Nowadays EC very, very rarely you get below 1 million already, which is why government know that they can no longer, based on the previous regulation, they increase to 12,000. So when was the next increment? 2015. And do you know why government increased? Because most of the time, if people cannot qualify for the EC, then nobody buy law, correct? And let's take a look at supply at that point in time and why the government choose to increase. Because whatever government do, right, there's always a reason. So if we look at this again, let's take a look now. We create a page. You look at a point in time, the supply of EC in the market, right, it's quite a lot. So when there's more EC supply, you ask any agent at the point in time, they were trying to sell EC, there was a lot of choices. The reason is because that a lot of people that wanted to buy, they cannot qualify. So government also know that because of the increase of condo prices and stuff, they want to help more people to buy EC. They increase the minimum, the maximum income . to be able to buy. So why did government in 2019, 2019 they increased again the 14 to 16,000? Everything got a reason. Do you remember that? Let's go back now. Do you remember that? Sorry, this one. In 2018, land costs go up. When land costs go up, because developer usually, how do they determine how much the product will cost? Of course, one thing is land cost, construction cost, and developer profit. So if land costs go up, construction go up, and developer profit, we have already seen a few. If they all sell at about 10%, the 10% is really very little. Not like in the past. Like in the past, developer can be selling 30%, 40%, 50%. 10% is like you open a chicken rice shop. Chicken rice $4. You buy the chicken, you cook, then you serve the plate, you pay your rental, everything. Your cost price is $4. You sell $4.40. You earn 40 cents. Actually, it's really, really very little. Which is why I feel that being a developer now is also not easy. Yeah. So when it increased, government also know that a lot of people are unable to afford the new EC price. Because if we take a look today, we go back to this calculator. Let's take a look at 14,000. 14,000. 14,000. The EC, you can buy the maximum loan is 935,318. So it's 935,318. 935,318 divided by 0.75. You can only buy 1.247. And this is actually your highest tier, because if you at that point in time 14,000, you are the highest tier, right? Mean that you are the ultra high net worth to buy an EC. So what can 1.247 buy at that point in time? We just take a look at okay, we use this. We go to a project, we take a look at let's take a look at we take a look at Piermont Grand. Okay, just now since we're talking about it. Piermont Grand, look at transaction data. So when we look at transaction data, if we sort by the highest quantum, there are people that are paying 1.7 plus, 1.6 plus. And when your ultra high net worth maximum leverage, they can only buy 1.2 plus. So government know that, cannot, because in this way, there will be a lot of people, there will be a lot of high supply in EC, which is not what they want. That's why they also increase from 14,000 to 16,000. So what difference does it make? We take a look today, 16,000. 16,000. 16,000 today, you can borrow 1.068935. Okay, so let's just do 1.07 to be easier for everybody. 1.07. 107 divided by 0.75. Meaning that the ultra high net worth for EC caliber buyer, they can only buy up to 1.426. So people that actually go and buy those like 1.6, 1.7 EC, actually they are it should be their family very rich to support them in cash. But do you realize that actually having 16,000 kind income or combined income, when you buy a condo, right, you can buy you can borrow 2.137, meaning that easily you can buy a 2.5 million if you want. So instead of when you have such an income, you choose to go for EC, you wait let's say 3 to 4 years for it to build, then wait 5 years for you to MOP. You have already wasted 10 years of your youth lah, which I feel that today, if you are having $16,000 income, maybe you can consider looking at a condo lah, instead of going for EC. So having this kind of 16,000 income, you can buy about, just now we calculate, is about 1.426 ma. So we take a look at today, there is one EC called Province. Let's go to Province today. We look at Best Buy. What does, sorry, let's try again. We look at Province Best Buy. Best Buy in my company app, right, is actually the lowest entry. So we look at the lowest entry today. The 3-bedroom is 900 plus, but the 4-bedroom is 1.6 over million. So if the 4-bedroom is 1.6 over million for the lowest entry.
Hello. Hello.
Hi. I need to mute people. Okay. So if happen that 4-bedroom being at 1.6 over million and your ultra high net worth EC people are unable to buy, so government need to do something lah. So of course, this is why I believe that government soon will increase the EC ceiling again. If not, who will be buying all this, especially when the new land bid is this kind of price? Okay, so we go back. So this is one of the things that I feel that if EC going to go at this kind of price, condo will be more expensive. So government may increase. If government increase to 18K, mean that what? If government 16K to 18K for EC, mean your HDB grant will be what? 14K to 16K. And this will bring people that can afford, that initially couldn't actually apply for BTO or cannot apply for their HDB grant, right? They will be able to qualify by then, and this will mean that there will be more people with higher income that will be staying in HDB land, which will bring the HDB price up. If HDB price up, mean condo will also go up, to me. Okay, cannot be today. Of course, you can see a few hero, they buy HDB less than 60-year lease, 1.20 million. Toa Payoh 1.20 million. If HDB can be this kind of price, can you imagine in the future how much will your condo be? So is this undervalue or overvalue? I leave it to you lah. But to me is, if you can use the EC and land bid, right, to determine what will happen in the future. So another part that I feel why property price will not come down is because of this. This is one article that I actually found. Inflation is coming. And what will happen to inflation? Why is the volume of transaction so much today? If you look at the amount of volume, is actually compared to last year, it increased by a lot. This is because when inflation happened, it devalues your cash. So people do not want to hold cash. They want to hold what? They want to hold assets. So assets is like, for example, shares. That's why you see your shares go up. They want to hold what? Property. That's why property also go up. So how bad is this inflation? So I did a research as well. If you look at this, because a lot of quantitative easing is happening, meaning that the US government is printing money to save the economy lah. So you can see that this time round, they are buying 175. Okay, at that point in time, in 2008 to 2010, at this period during the Lehman Brothers crisis, in order to save the market, they actually pump in this amount of money. Okay, but today, you can see at least 500 billion a month, and the debt have grown more than 7 trillion. So how significant it is? We put it into a graph. This graph you can see in 2008, 2010, the inflation happened like this, which is why our property market also go up, because cash, it actually devalue cash, mean that you will bring your property assets higher, which is why you can see a bull run at that point in time. Which is why government is also pretty conservative. They introduce a lot of cooling measures to actually try to stabilize the price. But you look at this point in time, because of COVID, the steepness of this graph and the period of time it is very steep. So the amount of inflation that is happening today is pretty scary. So I feel that our money will definitely be smaller, and this will mean that this may be the new bottom to me, in my opinion. But after all this is happening, of course, we also want to know. A lot of people ask me, hey, COVID, where are the fire sales and distress sale? So if you want to find a fire sale and distress sale, firstly, the seller must be over leveraged. They must be leveraging by a lot. But today we know, let me share with you the reason why, right? Today, compared to the past, there is very little fire sale. I can't say there is no fire sale, but very little. So we just, let me just start a note for you guys. I draw some stuff for you all to understand. So let's say in 2009, a person can own, let's say 5 property without what? ABSD, without TDSR. And do you know how much they can borrow? They can borrow, let's say don't say 2009, we just say 2007 to be even better. 90% loan to value. So when crisis come, as long as the property drop by more than 10%, bank will do one thing. Bank will margin call. Okay. So when bank margin call on 5 property and you are leveraging so much with interest at 4 to 5%, definitely can commit suicide already. That's why no choice, fire sale. But let's take a look at the scenario today where government introduced all these measures to make sure that we are not over leveraged. 2021. Today, let's say you own your first property. You have 60% TDSR and the normal buyer stamp duty. Let's say, just say put 4% minus 15,400. But what if you buy your second property? Okay, still got 75% loan to value. If you buy your second property, you need to pay what? You need to pay, you only can borrow a 45% LTV, meaning that your down payment is 55%. Your buyer's stamp duty, let's just put it at 4%. Or, okay I make it easier for you guys, 1 million. So our stamp duty is even lesser, 3% minus 5,004. And your ABSD is 12%. So meaning to buy this property, you need to put down 70% to actually down pay and pay your stamp duty. And if happen this person, he buy a 1 million, he put down a 700,000 just to buy this. And during crisis, do you think he is worried? Especially when today the interest is what? Maybe 1.1%. And also, in order to actually borrow the 45%, right, he have to also pass his 60% TDSR, which is why market is more stable. Of course, today, if let's say the person only own 1 property, it's very tough for him to just sell when he's not over leveraged. He sell his 1 property, then he live on the street, which is not really logical, because sometimes they will always plan ahead. That's why a lot of people in Singapore are not over leveraging. If we take a look at this statistic from MAS, Let me try to go in. Yeah. MES. Never mind. Let me try. MES. MES. Sorry, let me try again. Can't click in. Okay, I just try Google. Then we do it. MES housing loan report. See this? Okay. Okay, we look at this. This is actually something that we want to know how many people in Singapore are over leveraging. So basically, you look at Q1 2021. Of course, today we can borrow up to 75%. But do you actually look at 0.5? That most people in Singapore, they are actually only 47.4% in terms of their loan. Meaning that today, if bank go the margin call on you, the probability is actually not so much because people only borrow less than 50%. So to me, less than 50% is considered under leverage already because you can borrow up to 75% of a property value, also dependent on your income. Okay. And of course, the last thing, I feel that one of the factor is that if MAS feel that the market is still not overheated, mean that they really want the price to move. I think, in my opinion, is because we all are taking 2 jabs, all right, for COVID. Someone need to pay for it, which is a stamp duty. Because if market move like that in the past, usually government will come in with cooling measures. We were all speculating that cooling measures will happen a few months back, like maybe 2 or 3 months back. But it's not happening, and MAS can say that the property price is not overheated. So I feel that this may be the new bottom. So another part that I feel why property price will not come down is also because of construction costs. Someone prepared to pay the higher cost. So higher cost, developer, if they're going to buy the land high, construction cost is high, they are already not earning a lot from you. So no matter how, price will go up. And one of the reasons why landed price go up by so much is also because of construction cost. Because a lot of property that they A&A before or rebuilt before, they actually enjoy the previous construction cost, which is much lesser. But today when they sell, because of construction cost, people are not willing to pay, not willing to wait. They don't mind paying the premium to the owner, which is why you can see the construction cost go up by quite a bit. And the landed cost also go up. All right. So I agree, it's expensive. Now it's very expensive, but it's going to be more expensive. You're going to expect that OCR new pricing to be 2,000 PSM and up. And I did a calculation for you. PSF going to get higher, and your unit going to get smaller. So today, for the amount of budget you have, you may be able to buy a 3-bedroom premium, but in the future, it may just be a 3-bedroom compact. And we have only seen at the moment OCR land bid, one at Lentor, one at Ang Mo Kio. So both their break even is already 1,008 and up. This means future RCR and CCR will be even more expensive. Okay, and of course, higher construction costs will bring the price up. And why is the indication why this is actually a new bottom? I feel that the land bid by developer moved the price up. So it will no longer, and developer have already accepted that this is the new low. If not, there will not be so many developers bidding around the same price for the piece of land. And they are all listed company. They have their own analysts to actually determine whether this is a price to justify before they invest. So if developer is so confident that this will be the new price, I think this is an indication that this also is a new bottom. Developer land price running low, limited GLS. So I already mentioned, when supply stay go down. I just say demand stay flat, price will go up, which I already shared you just now. Increase of median household income. This is also showing that actually more people are able to afford the current property. Increase of EC income eligibility to match the land bid. So I also believe that this will happen soon. If not, who will go and buy your new EC? Because those will definitely be more expensive by the current one by at least 5%. Inflation is coming due to quantitative easing. And then lastly, I feel MAS felt market not overheated and current measures are sufficient. Or Ryan asked me, actually higher price doesn't mean higher comma. That one is not true, because there are places that sell very high, but doesn't pay us a lot. So of course, the last thing we also want to know before when we go to invest something, we want to know the demand in the resale market, because what we buy today, we want to be able to sell. Actually, a lot of time when you see, to me, investors that they go and buy one bedroom, it's actually very risky, because today we just take an example, 450 square feet, one bedroom. Today, if we say increase 200 PSF increment, which is what most of the condo enjoy when they buy new launch, you make how much? 90K. And this 90K is actually before your stamp duty, before your interest, your agent fee to sell, and whatsoever bank CPF accrued interest as well. So to me, usually as I will tend not to buy a one bedroom unless really it's a second property they are buying for rental. Yes, rental no problem, because the rental yield is higher for one bedder. But if you are buying to exit, try to go for these two. And what is these two usually? 2 and 3. So we want to know the aftermarket lah. So better to buy something that is around this size, so that it's easier for you to exit. Yep. So I come to the end of this. I hope you all learned something today and enjoy the seminar. If you all like, you all can text me or follow me lah. Then I can share with you guys more interesting data. Any question to ask me? If any question, you all can type. If not, then have a good evening.